I'm Dan with Brown Dog Marine. I'm going to be the dealer for Makaira Boats on the east coast of the U.S., based out of Maryland. Brown Dog Marine, we specialize in marine electronics installs, and in the last couple of years we've brought on a line of center console boats, and now we're bringing on Makaira Boats. Makaira is a great fit for Brown Dog. You know, we already sell a line of fishing center consoles, and Makaira being more of an offshore fishing boat, it's just that next step for us. Yeah, I flew out of Baltimore into San Francisco, and then the trip from San Francisco to Auckland was, I think, 12.5-hour flight. First time I've been on a flight that far, first time I've been out of the country. Oh, as soon as I got the carry, I went up to the factory. You know, I was excited to take a look around and see Alan. So the biggest thing at the factory that I noticed is that everybody there is on the same page. It doesn't matter if it's Alan, the owner, if it's somebody doing the CAD design, if it's somebody doing the fabrication, the paint, the rigging, they're all on the same page. They're looking to build a quality boat, and quality is the #1 frame of mind that they have. Yeah, so when you've got them in the raw here, you can really see all the attention to detail that goes into it during the process. It's not just covered up at the end, you know, everything is quality, quality, quality through the whole build. So we're going to go for a run on a 26 Makaira. The weather is a little bit rough to fish effectively, so we're just going to go for a play. Yeah, so the further we went out, the rougher it got, and as we got out around 9 pin, it really started to ramp up. It was, I think, 3 to 4 foot waves. Not ideal conditions for a 26-foot boat, but that boat rides like a tank. Oh, it exceeded expectations. Those conditions, I wouldn't be out on any other 26-foot boats that I've had experience with. So I've never been 40 knots in sea conditions like that, and the crazy thing is everybody was comfortable. There was no banging noises, there was no slapping, you know, there was no holding on for dear life. It was just comfortable. Yeah, so since we didn't really have a good weather window for fishing, I had barely mentioned to Alan that when I was planning this trip to New Zealand, several of my friends and family members asked if I was going red stag hunting. And I said, nah, it's not in the plan, you know. And after I mentioned that to Alan, he said, well, do you want to go? And so he reached out to a customer that has a Makaira 35. The owner said, yeah, come on down. Yeah, one of the mornings that we hunted, we saw some really nice red stags, you know, world class, you know, and being not on a high fence farm, you know, these are wild deer, you know, they were respectable stags. And unfortunately, we were just on this side of the property line on the other side of the fence, and they were on a neighboring property, and we weren't able to take a shot, but it was very cool to be able to see that in person. And then went that evening and into the night, and it was actually dark. We were looking around with thermal scopes, and they found 3 deer about 150 yards away. Got me set up on one.
They've just done a big circle, and now they're looking at us. They're actually walking this way.
As I lined this animal up, you know, they said put it on the shoulder and squeeze, and so I took a breath in, exhaled, squeezed the trigger at the bottom of my exhale.
Oh, down, got one.
Never really got too worked up about it until after the shot, you know, watching the animal drop. Very excited. My first impression was this is the size of a adult whitetail deer that I'm used to back home, and this was just a yearling stag. This is a small deer for them, and you know, they told me about how if you drop an adult stag, you almost have to quarter it to get it out, you know, and I could see where that would be the case. Yeah, after the hunting trip, we hopped back in the truck, drove back up north a little bit to a New Zealand boat show, and I got to experience how a boat show is done in New Zealand, which is quite similar to America. Some of the features on the 33 that would work well for our market is, again, just being the idea of a large boat in a smaller boat platform. So it's got everything that you're going to want. You know, you've got enough sleeping room for 6, which on a 33-foot boat is unheard of. You know, that extra berth on the port side underneath the floor, you wouldn't even know it's there. And so I was often showing people that popping the seat up, opening the door, and it blowing their mind because it, like I said, you can't even tell it's there until you open it up. Like all the way flat, it all extends underneath the floor there. You got plenty of room to lay down, plenty of room for another person. It's very evident that instead of building a boat company and then building fishing boats, Makaira built fishing boats and then built a boat company. So even just in the name, Makaira is the genus name for blue marlin, for example, you know, and some other billfish species, but it's just one more piece of evidence that shows that these boats are built to fish. So today we're going to go out on a 33 Makaira and we're going to go for a run. You know, the weather conditions aren't that great, but you know, we're going to see if we can still run across some fish. The whole time I've been here in New Zealand, I've wanted to go fishing and catch a fish of any sort. Here we are heading out of Opua Marina today. Hopefully I get to catch my first New Zealand fish. So we're out here today with Franco, owner of Abyss Charters. We've got Alan from Makaira Boats, and of course behind the camera we've got Dan. My thoughts as we're going out, you know, of the 33 Makaira that we were on, is very stable. You know, this guy uses it for charter fishing. Obviously it's well suited for that purpose. Yeah, they started kind of late. You know, we had some things to do in the morning before we got out, so it wasn't the ideal time of day. We went out anyway. You know, they were determined to get me on a fish or two, and went and found some structure, started a drift, did some jigging, which was very similar to how we fished in the Chesapeake for rockfish. You know, just jig head, soft plastic, bouncing on the bottom, rinse and repeat. And wasn't too long before we were starting to get some bites. I ended up hooking up on something, didn't know what it was, and brought it in, flipped it in the boat, and it was a very small kingfish, but I was just excited as I could be. You know, first New Zealand fish, I didn't care how big it was.
Oh, it's a rat kingy. It's the smallest kingfish I've ever seen.
That is my first New Zealand fish right there, though. I don't care how small it is. Alan said it's too small to keep, so guess we'll toss it back in. Kept fishing on, you know, it was a slow pick, caught another kingfish.
Rat kingy again. Turn the camera off, Dan. Turn the camera off.
Another little guy. See, the trick is when you get them this small, you just kind of hold them way out. Right, look how big that kingfish is right there. Yep.
We'll try somewhere else, eh?
Probably a record. There's a lot of words and phrases from Kiwi culture to American culture that require a little bit of translation, but at the end of the day, we all speak fishing. We get on the boat, we find some marks, find some structure, drop a line in, try to catch something, give each other a hard time, you know, when we miss a fish here and there. You know, it's all in good fun. Yeah, it was a little bit rougher on the way back in, and the boat just ate through it. You know, we were all comfortable and were able to maintain a good speed. You know, it's not like we took forever to get back in. We were still able to cruise and get back in before dark. The biggest thing I've taken from New Zealand is just the beauty of it. I've taken several pictures since I've been here, taken videos, and they're always a disappointment to me because I've seen the real thing. And also just the people here are very down to earth, very nice, very accommodating, and just really want to show you a good time. And like Alan said, he said only a Kiwi can show you the real New Zealand, and that is 100% true.